I decided to start the day with a visit to Durban castle. The castle was built in the 11th century for the lords of Durban, first mentioned in a document of 1018. The lords of Durban were the powerful Durban family, vassals of the Viscounts of Narbonne. In the year 1229, Guillaume de Durban swore allegiance to the King of France, and thus kept his lands. Otherwise, the castle seems not to have any connections with the Cathars. But as always, some information may not have survived the twists and turns of history. Last night I stayed in a very nice accommodation right under this castle. So right after breakfast I decided to go up and see the Durban castle ruins. The temperature was still well above the planned level and was about 27 degrees Celsius. So there was no time to waste. Ahead was a 30-kilometer trail to Tuchan. I had enough strength and, most important, had enough water. So the starting positions were really good. In the distance I could see some kind of building on the mountain, which was the first object of interest today. The trail was really well marked and the chances of getting lost were minimal. Since it was the beginning of April, there were several small rivers along the way, which should definitely dry out in the summer. The shady section through the bushes gave a small respite from the sun, which had already started to get really hot. After 1 hour and 40 minutes, I reached Shrine of Saint Raphael. There wasn't much information about the significance of this place, but at least the view from the top of the mountain was good. Especially of the snowy Pyrenees in the far distance. Later, near the trail, I found some kind of water reservoir where live fish were swimming. They had apparently been put there by some farmer from the neighboring garden, because they couldn't hardly have gotten here naturally. I had a water filter in my bag's side pocket today, but knowing that there would be drinking water in the next village, I decided not to rush. A very nice village with a medieval feel. With the help of the locals, I managed to find a water source, where I sat down and rested for a while, drinking cold water. The day was still too hot for long hikes with a big backpack. According to the locals, without a big backpack, Tuchan could be reached in about 3 to 4 hours. Of course, I was aware that considering the conditions, it would definitely take me more time. But overall, it felt very positive that almost half the way was already behind me. The first climb up from the village was quite steep, but luckily for me on the asphalt road. I also continued to follow the habit of walking for an hour and then resting for 10 minutes. Yesterday's harsh experience was taken into account, and today I had some juicy apples in my backpack. Spring in France was in full swing, and the smell on the trail was indescribable. Aguilar Castle was already visible in the distance. In places the trail led down a steep surface covered with slippery small stones, and it took a lot of effort not to slip down the slope on the bottom. The trail went to the right, but I decided to take a small detour and look at the nearby sites. Very old agricultural machinery. Well, this castle is from a different time period, so it didn't put much interest in me, which can't be said about the old chapel nearby. This one was very old. A heavy, devastating section on the asphalt road. The sun was so hot, and I soon started to feel like on a frying pan. So, having found a small shade, I decided to rest again. Besides, I had one trump card left from the small shop in Durban. Coca-Cola Zero. Aguilar Castle was not far away anymore. Near the trail, there were some other abandoned ruins, but unfortunately it looked taken over by some farm. Not wanting to be torn apart by some guard dogs, I decided not to go any closer. Just the last climb up. The Aguilar Castle with the Pyrenean mountains in the background looked great. The Château de Aguilar is a 12th century Cathar castle. Unfortunately, I had arrived too late and the castle was already closed, so I couldn't take any closer look at it. During the Cathar Wars in 1210, it was captured by Crusader leader Simon de Montfort, whose soldiers put the owner of the castle, Raymond de Terme, in prison in Carcassonne. 30 years later, during the revolt by the young Viscount Raincavel against the Crusaders, Raymond's son, Olivier de Terme, took back the castle. Aguilar Castle then became the refuge for Cathars and their companions. I found out at the accommodation that the shop in town would be closing in a few minutes, so I hurried to replenish my food supplies and treat myself with some ice cream and strawberries.